Khalid Rasheed, for Age magazines, for the city of Houston, for the culture. For the Age magazine, man.
Okay, this is Khalid Rasheed with H Magazine. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my sponsor, you know what I'm saying, Little Ryan, Wildlife Magazine. I just want to go ahead. I'm joined by a special guest today. A lot of people don't know who you are, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people who you are.
I am the boy, Lil Ron, from Chopping It Up with Lil Ron, Kicks and Tricks, the Rikers World Order, the King's Lounge, what I started with Booker and T. Carter. And then I just started recently with Valencia Lee, the Wildlife Magazine. So I do a lot of stuff, man.
Okay, so break it down. So, you know what I'm saying, what made you try to get into just being in the field that you are in, you know what I'm saying, not just, before the magazines, like the content creator, or just going out and just choosing this as a full-time occupation, period?
Well, what made me want to go into it is it actually started. I wanted to do unboxing. You know how people unbox stuff and they, this is how this look. And I was end up. I did actually a music video with Keon and Zydeco Masters where I actually talk about that in a project that I got coming out in September. But I actually, after doing that music video, I wanted to do something different because somebody actually had told me that you ought to come out with a show about you. So after me going through doing some changes, I decided to say, hey, look, I want to actually come out with a show that deal with nothing but entrepreneurship. And I actually helped jumpstart Mikhail Rose's show that she actually has because she's one of my first guests.
Okay.
After we did it, I decided to scrap it. I wanted to actually go straight directly into the Kicks and Tricks. And when I did the Kicks and Tricks, that show was straight directly with tennis shoes, review them, take them and give out free shoes to people. And from there, I launched Chopping It Up with Lil Ron. And then once I got that going, I talked to the guy named Booker that came onto the show and said, hey, man, I wanted to turn back around and do another show. I want to structure it for you. It's going to be a sports show, and it's going to be called the King's Lounge. And then he was like, oh, I don't know how to do it. I said, I got you. I'm going to show you. Did the King's Lounge. It takes off. After I finished the King's Lounge, I end up transitioning to the Rikers World Order with the three-wheel community that I'm in right now. And that show, it actually took off, and then I said to myself, what's the next thing to do? And a writer came to me, her name was Dee, and I was talking to Valencia, and we was talking about a magazine in the past, and I said, hey, man, you know something? We're going to go full force. Let's go ahead and do the magazine. And that was like the fifth project that we did. And from there, everything else, it just took off.
Okay, so how exactly long have you been in the industry, period, though? You know what I'm saying? You know, I know you said everything took about a year's worth of time, though. But, I mean, where did the background come from? Did it come from being an artist? Did it come from just working for people, public relations, or, networking? Where did that part come in?
I actually started out doing music. Okay. In fact, I actually partnered with a guy on the east side named George, and he sat down. We developed a strategy, pretty much to take the music that I like, the screw music, because I'm from Houston, and we end up getting together. He helped me make my dream come true, and this is back in about 98, 99. When at a time where DJs always believed in doing wax. And this was around about the time the CD had just came into play when they were just doing the CDs. And I actually did it on the computer, and a lot of people, they didn't like it. They didn't believe in it. It wasn't no virtual DJ or none of that stuff. And I ended up doing the music, and then after I doing the screw music and putting a couple of rap artists together, doing a lot of stuff with them, I end up stepping away from it. After a few years later, I want to do something totally different. So I started to build and do networking with computers because that was my thing. People that really know me know, hey, man, that's the computer dude. He do computers. Did computers, man, for so many years. So I actually, from 99 to about 2014, I did nothing but computers. That's all I did is straight computers all day long. Computers, music, computers. And then I took me a short break, and then I came back with this project right here, man. Doing the movies and magazines, man, it's countless.
Okay. All right. All right. So, do you find that transition? Because a lot of people can't make that transition. To go from one thing to the next, or to be able to juggle all those things at one time. How do you find that balance? You know what I'm saying, to go ahead and continue to do that.
Well, it's to me, it's easy because I figured if a person is doing the same identical thing for 10 years and they haven't changed and moved, if I look at my transition, the first 10 years of my life, I did nothing but music. The next part of 10 years of my life, I end up doing straight computers. Now I'm working on the next part of my life. This will be the actual next chapter. I always want to do stuff different. I'll do something for a short period of time, and I want to say, hey, let me push the bar. Let me see if I can do something a little bit better. Let me see if I can change the game up. So I always try to transition to something else. That's why after doing this, I'm going to the movie thing because I want to do that. That's going to be real big, real good.
Okay, all right. Well, speaking of the movie, since Houston's now considered the new Hollywood now, what do you think about, what separates you from other, because there's other independent directors and people around here kind of doing stuff like that. So what's going to separate you from them?
Well, you have to be a visionary. Number one, you have to be a visionary.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people script a lot of stuff. I want to kind of get people out their box and keep them in another element where they don't actually have to script it and say, hey, look, let's take this, let's straight improv it, let's put it together, let's talk about it, man, let's deliver it. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be able to give people a different vision of what we do, especially in the short film. People don't know short films are like very, very popular. Some people think you got to have a movie for an hour and a half, 2-hour movies, but sometimes people attention span don't stay very long. So 10, 15, 30 minutes, hey, man, they getting up. Oh, man, if they're not into your movie within a certain amount of minutes, they gonna cut it off and go to something else. That's it.
Yeah, you sure right. I definitely agree with you on that, though. I think that just comes to the point I'll be telling people that you kind of need to know or study about what you're going to try to do before you get into it. You know what I'm saying? Since times have changed, you used to be able to kind of do anything, but you can't do that no more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, as far as the any projects or film projects that you got going on, or you want to, bring it to light, anything like that?
Well, I got the Riker Boys movie that's coming out.
Okay.
That's starring me and Orlando from Rolling on 3. Okay. And matter of fact, got you in there. You actually played the attorney in the movie.
Yeah.
To be exact.
Yeah.
And I got D. Frazier. He's a singer out of Houston. He's in there.
Okay.
Mike Thomas, man. I got I got T. Carter in there. I got Valentine. Pretty much half of the Rolling on 3 crew, Rolling on 3 without the G in there, and I have Tim, which he actually flew down to actually do an episode with me, inside of the chopping it up with Lil Ron Room, and he shot a scene for the movie straight from Arizona. Came down, man, he made it happen, and the next project I'm working on is very important to me. Is my project. I have a movie that I'm finna get ready to shoot where I play a bounty hunter. That's in the law enforcement field, me and Orlando, and it's the fight against trafficking and sex trafficking. So I basically play me and Orlando play these two cops / bounty hunters that actually goes in and turn back around and actually investigate these children and other people that's actually missing, which a lot of people play. They're basically putting their trust into a pastor of a church. Because like I said, I don't want to hide nothing. I want to make it real. I want to make it reality because we know it's the people that we trust is the people that actually hurt us. So that little whole scenario is actually going to be good. And I'm actually going to try my best to release the trailer or the movie by sex trafficking, actually trafficking month. I think that's January is the month.
I think so.
Yeah, it's going to be January. So I'm going to try to get the trailer or either have the movie already done, which I'm pretty sure we're going to have it done. We're going to start shooting production on it in 2 weeks. We're going to start shooting. So I'm going straight into another project.
Okay. That sounds good then. You know what I'm saying? So what was your, I know some people, they take up a cause or take up something like that. Now, what made you want to address that issue?
Well, the lady I met named Mika. Mika actually is a wonderful person, man, and a lot of people don't really know her story, and she explained it to me about her daughter. Prior to meeting her, I had already said I wanted to actually do this movie, but I was actually saving it from somewhere down the line. So when I met her, went to her event, seen how everything was, I said, you know something? This is a calling. I need to go ahead and I need to shoot this movie. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to partner with her to put her in the movie because I'm going to make her one of the main people that I'm going to talk to. She's going to basically, I'm going to give you like, it's going to be like you remember the TV show, the A-Team with Mr. T?
Yeah.
You know, every episode somebody will call the A-Team to get them to handle a situation. Mika is I'm going to get her to play that person that actually make the call. I want you to check in on this right here. Something don't seem right. It's kind of shady. It's going to be good, man. Trust me.
Okay.
Plus, we get a chance to ride the Rikers. We get in to ride the bikes. I may not ride the van, but I can ride the bikes.
All right. Okay. Now, as far as this Rolling on 3, explain the kind of the concept and the scenario behind that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this is really kind of popular. You know what I'm saying? You can see these bikes or these people that's doing it, but I know you have an actual club. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, well, Lando represents the Rolling on 3.
Okay.
I represent the RWO.
Okay.
It's two different groups. His group been around before my group. I actually formed my group in 2019, but he structured his group a little faster than mine. So when he ended up meeting me and we ended up coming together doing some stuff, I basically told him, hey, look, man, let's go together. Let's do this stuff together. Let's do stuff for the city. We fed the homeless people. We talked about, we did a purge event. We actually took over downtown Houston, and we all got on our bikes. They had the purge mask. Man, majority of the 2 wheels, 3 wheels. We even had people in their cars that actually came out and showed up for this actual event. But the concept for the 3 wheels, the 2 wheels, they always had their time to shine, and they do things, and they do positive things all the time. 2 wheels always do positive things, man. So many people that does that. The 3 wheels, I wanted to do something totally different. I have a certain vision, and he has a vision, and we want to make this thing real big and go worldwide, especially with this movie. We want to have so many people in it. We want so many people to support this project. But with the 3 wheels, we want to give a positive message, man. My thing is I want to actually go to the cancer centers. I want to be able to go to the schools to talk to the little kids. I want to do everything positive with the 3 wheels to show the kids that you can do the same thing. It's not all about having drugs in the music video, having guns all the time, beating people up, nudity 24/7. I want to just give stuff totally different that people look at. Hey, look, these people, they ride with sense. Like the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders, man, they had that thing for years, man. The Rough Riders, they pop willies because that's their thing. They have fun. They do all the things they do. We wanted to have our own thing that we actually created. And Orlando, he's from Mississippi, so that makes it even better. He's from Mississippi. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, and we wanted to come together and do something with both groups together to make it real big, man. But it's gonna be nice.
Okay, that's cool. Now, you know what I'm saying, is it good, because I know some people say, being with friends and trying to do business, is that a good thing for you, or have you had any mishaps with that thing?
Well, I learned in life and business early on when I was young. I learned to actually separate myself from my friendship and my business.
Okay.
So I know how to draw the line in between. Do I do stuff with my private life, with my business people? No, I won't do that. I'll just be like, hey, look, man, whatever we do, it stays right here as business. Outside of that, I don't try to get into people's personal affairs and they lives. I'm not talking to them about their personal finances. I try to keep it professional. If somebody asks me to do something, hey, let me go ahead and do it. If they don't want me to be in their business, that's fine. Even if they say, hey, I'm tired of my wife, man. She doing this and she doing that. I'm going to tell you, I didn't put you and your wife together, and I ain't going to separate you and your wife. I'm just going to tell you the positive. Like, hey, man, this is what you need to do. Because I once was in your situation, man, so this is the mistakes that I made. Let me tell you something totally different. Because I'm your friend, I'm your brother, and I love you. I'm going to look out for you. That's it.
Okay, I'm glad you spoke on that because I'm your brother. You know what I'm saying? That terminology for being my brother's keeper, I don't think that, it's not really held. I just know in the era that kind of where we come from, we kind of held people responsibility, even as, from the neighborhood or even then, you know what I'm saying? You did certain things. You was not able to come around or be in the neighborhood, be on the block, or just be out in public. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about, do you think the ball has slipped far as us communicating with the youth You know what I'm saying? And or you know what I'm saying, or even just people with in our age bracket, this kind of season, and stuff like that. Because I know most of us grew up without both parents in the household, or we had to learn our own way, or did different things. Though, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it started. I'm an '80s baby, so I think it started back in my generation. We come from an era that if you do something bad, grandma whoop you, grandpa get you, mama and daddy whoop you. All those people in that era when they came up, we didn't like the beatings because they hurt us so bad. We grew up in our mind and say, hey, look, now when I get older, I'm not gonna do my kids like this. I don't want nobody touching my kids. And after you come past I want to say about 1999, it changed. So those kids all say, hey, man, I don't want nobody touching my kids. Because we used to get paddled, man. I used to get, man, shout out to Reginald Spivey, man. Mr. Spivey, when we was at Kirby Middle School, this man used to do the original flick of the wrist, man. He flipped the board and pow and hit you. You get you a few pops or whatever, go back to class. Hey, man, you actually good now. These kids don't get the wood on them, man. They turn back around and you whoop them. The mama trying to fight you. The daddy trying to fight you. Heck, I even seen a video with the parents trying to fight the other parents because their child ended up getting beat up. Yeah. Man, we ain't living a whole different world. But I think if I can turn back the hands of time and take the new generation before the Facebook, before the Twitter, before the Instagram, before the Snapchat, before the MySpace. Yeah. If you take all of that away, man, we had Lockwood Skating Ring. Yeah. You had the dollar movie that they actually go to. Man, you can go to the park. Everybody always found something to do. We can have a fight today. We may not talk for 2 weeks. We friends with no problem. You have a fight now, and you do something to somebody. You have a choice. Do I take this man's life, or do I have to watch my back because this man gonna try to take my life? We live in a whole different era. It's different, man. The era that I grew up in, I liked it, man, because you watch TV shows, man. You watch Double Dare. You watch Fun House, man. You watch them Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. You don't got that no more, man. Now it's a whole totally different ball game.
Yeah. Okay, I see an award over here that you have, and I see a magazine. Go ahead and give some people explain these two things of what's going on, how they came about.
Well, the first thing is the award.
Okay.
This is outside of the YouTube accomplishments and the other awards I actually received. This is actually special because this is the first award that's actually been not mailed to me, but this is the one that's been handed to me. And not only been handed it to me, it's been handed it to me by somebody that's been in the game for a long time and actually finna turn back around and do bigger and better things. This award is very special to me because not only I got awarded on the day Youngstar was there, he got an award. Lil Flip, when he was there, he got an award. You got a number of people, man. It's the council. Shout out to the councilman.
Edward Powell.
Yes, man. He was that man. Real. Not to give up subject. Real cool guy. Laid back. Cool. He's actually wonderful man. Recognized you personally as you was there and spoke very highly at your event. A lot of people, they don't come out to like events, especially a lot of the different the politicians and stuff. They may come out for 5 minutes and they leave. This man stayed there for a long time, man. Ronnie Spencer, I saw out there. The Fifth Ward Boys, Ace Deuce, man. I mean, you had so many. Whoever didn't come to the event, they don't know they missed a magical moment, man. This was actually good. Mikhail Rose showed up. Mr. Iconics was there. Homestead Slim. Yeah, he was there, man. I mean, you had it's so many people. If I miss your name, man, don't think I forgot about you. But he had so many people that was actually there in the event. And receiving this award and hearing the things that people feel about me, I actually was honored to actually receive that award. Now, the magazine, I actually collabed with 2 ladies, and we talked about it, and we agreed on the first issue. They wanted me to be on the actual issue. So I gave them a rundown story of me and how we came up with it. And I wanted to create a magazine that's not only a magazine, I wanted to do it digital. So I give them both versions. You get the digital version, so those who are on YouTube, they can watch it. And then I gave them a version where they have the hard copy because, people still tend to read magazines. So when designing the magazine, I wanted it to be different. I wanted to get rid of the actual barcode, traditional barcode to be on the back of the magazine. Why not give them the QR code and let them just scan it, and they can take them to where they have to go? So once I came up with the magazine, the last thing was the size. Shout out to Valencia Lee. She convinced me to switch it, and we end up going with the traditional size of the Jet magazine. You know how the Jet used to be?
Of course.
It's a little bit bigger. And, so I wanted to be able to let everybody tell their stories and give them a virtual part inside the magazine, and then they have the hard copy. So the magazine is doing very well. We actually have the second issue of the magazine that's actually finna get ready to drop in 2 or 3 weeks. So far, man, hopefully we can be like y'all, man. I can have a big magazine award show, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, we do a little something. It's not really that much, though. You know what I'm saying? But, as we be getting ready to go ahead and close. So go ahead and give the people your links and where people can find you at and stuff like that. If they want to book you or do anything, public, speaking or anything, or to feed the homeless, let them know how to contact.
Well, if you want to look us up on YouTube, you can look me up under The Partition, DA, The Partition. If you want to look up the other shows, Kicks and Tricks, Kicks with a Z, the and symbol, Tricks with a Z. Then you have the Rikers World Order, Rikers with a S, World Order. And then you have the Walla magazine, that's real popular too, and the King's Lounge that you can actually see. And if you guys have time and you want to know a little bit more about the Rolling on 3, he has his Rolling on 3 thing, Orlando, without the G. Okay. And then we also have Instagram. We got the Kicks and Tricks with the A-N-D, and you have the Partition, which would be all one word. And then you have the Walla magazine as well that you can actually see in the Rikers World Order. But other than that, man, we got tons of movies. Riker Boys is actually coming. You going to be in it, man, and hopefully people come out and support this movie because it's going to be real good. And, man, other than that, that's basically it.
Okay, I appreciate you coming through. This Khalid Rasheed, this Port H Magazine. Follow me on Port H Magazine. And tune in, shout out to our sponsor, Walla Magazine, Little Ryan, and everybody else to support. Appreciate everybody tuning in, tap into this, and coming soon,
All right. Peace.